You are welcome to the Lord TV, your number one fantastic reality TV that gives you all that it takes to be enlightened on trending news such as politics, entertainment, sports, and what have you. If you are new on this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button as well as already subscribed. So please don't forget to drop your comments anytime I drop new videos. Thank you. Ciao, ciao. Viewers, you are welcome to today's trending news, and the headline is Confusion in Senate over Buhari's plan to borrow $22 billion. But before I proceed, don't forget to click on the red subscribe buttons as well as the like button to get updated anytime we upload new videos. The news in details. There is confusion in the Senate today as senators begins discussions. 2016 to 2018, external borrowing to the tune of $22.7 billion to be spent by the federal government to execute key infrastructural projects. Confusion sets in soon after the presentation of the report of the Committee on Local and Foreign Debts by the chairman, Senator Clifford Odia, People's Democratic Party (PDP), Edo Central. After the presentation, the President of the Senate, Senator Ahmad Lawan, insisted that the lawmakers should go to the recommendations and vote. This did not go down well with the minority leaders. Senator Eyinaya Eberibe, PDP Abia South, who raised it that there must be line-by-line consideration of the report and the recommendation before the voting process. The chamber became tensed as the debate was now between Lawan and Eberibe. There was sharp disagreement between them against the backdrop that why the President of the Senate wanted an outright approval of the loan. The minority vehemently kicked against that. To save the situation, Senator Gabriel Soswam, PDP, Benue, asked that the Senate should go into an executive session for 10 minutes where those knotty issues of lopsided allocation of projects will be resolved. But the President of the Senate rejected a call for a closed session, stressing that this would have happened prior to plenary session, adding, "We are at the point of no return." This did not go down well with Eberibe as he stood up to speak again, where he now cited Order 14C of the Senate Standing Order as amended. Lawan now made U-turn on his position and now called for a closed-door session. They now entered into a closed session at 12:40 and still ongoing. Recall that President Muhammadu Buhari had on November 28 written to the Senate again requesting for the approval of 2016 to 2018 external borrowing to the tune of $30 billion to be spent by the federal government to execute key infrastructure projects across the country. The letter, which was dated November 26, 2019, was read on the floor of the Red Chamber by the President of the Senate, Ahmad Lawan, during plenary. In the letter, President Buhari explained that it became imperative to represent the request because the 8th National Assembly approved only a part of the external borrowing request forwarded to it in September 2016. Viewers, I will say that this consistent demand of President Muhammadu Buhari in terms of borrowing is becoming too much, and I would say that precaution there should be precaution in adhering and approving of any of his requests. Yes, we know that he might be the president of a country, but that doesn't mean that he will always have his way when it comes to demands. There are some of his demands that can still be questioned, especially when it comes to things that will affect the country. And things that will affect the country are no other thing than financial matters. We know as Nigerians, when uh, when it comes to debt issue, Nigeria needs to be very, very conscious because we have experienced so much about that. Let me recall the issue of debt that Nigeria incurred during the time of President Olusegun Obasanjo, and how tough it was for that debt to be repaid. If I make have my way, I will explain and say that it took Olusegun Obasanjo and his deputy so much time and moves to make sure that they make this payment, and this payments were actually in a very serious matter, and I know what this payment actually cost the boat leader before the payment was completely settled. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari is incurring another debt in the neck of this country. So I will say to the Senate to take a very good look at what at the request made by President Muhammadu Buhari. A concrete look should be looked into that request. See how profiting that request is going to be to Nigeria. That request should not just be granted. The advantageous part of that request should be 70%, 80% than the disadvantaged part of it. In case, because these debts, this money is requesting for, we must be paid back. Must be paid back. So, and the reason for that for that money should be thoroughly looked into, and the projects he is demanding that money for should be properly looked into. The economic part of that project, how profiting that project, the money he want to invest on is, how profiting it is. The economic part of that project should be looked into, so that we'll be able to know if investing that money on that project, after investing, what benefits, what's going to be the level of interest that will be coming out of that project, so that Nigeria will not find it so difficult or so hard to pay back this loan. So the Senate should not be should not be so quick in honoring this request, but rather a due diligent study of this request should be carried out. If possible, a panel should be set in the same Senate House to look into this. This panel should be able to bring out the purpose of that project, the interest they should be able to weigh that project and know if that project worth investing on, and they should try to know the period, the period, the money will be on that project, and the level of interest that will be coming out from that project, so that at the end of the day it will not be so difficult for Nigerian to repay back this loan. So please, I don't know what your own comments concerning this news may be, but whatsoever it is, don't forget to leave them behind. Click on the subscription buttons as well as bell buttons to receive more updates. Thank you.